This story is by the Reddit user Black Eyes 1, titled, I have cured myself of boredom. I'm in my 30s, and I have achieved what most people dream of. I work for a top firm, and I earn a huge salary. I drive a nice car, and I live in a nice large house all by myself. I can afford multiple expensive holidays, and the world is just starting to become a small place for me. With everything that I have in the world, I should consider myself lucky, but I find myself extremely bored, and I'm becoming extremely irritated with my boredom. I should be happy, but I'm constantly alone, even though I have lots of friends. I go on lots of dates with attractive women. I'm constantly thinking to myself, what else is out there that needs achieving? But I literally have everything. Looking online one day, I was searching for the cure for boredom. Most of the stuff weren't really cures, but so-called practices and techniques that can keep boredom at bay. Then I found a website that had a drug, or an actual medicine that can literally apparently cure boredom. And it was quite expensive, but I could afford it. It was definitely expensive for someone in middle or poor working classes. I ordered it, and it came to my house 2 days later. The cure for boredom was liquid in a bottle, and I had many small bottles of them in a box. I was also given another box which had small bottles with a certain liquid in them to bring back boredom. I drank from the first one, which took away boredom, and I fell asleep. I awoke straight away, and I felt amazing. Even though my day was the same, I didn't feel bored of it at all. I was loving life, and I could remember boredom, but it wasn't in me anymore. I was smiling, and at home I was walking about everywhere, and just relishing in the amazement that I wasn't bored. I started going up and down the stairs, and watching so much TV. I was listening to so many songs, and I found a cat outside, and brought it into my house. It didn't have any collar on it. I dissected it with a knife, and then went back to going up and down the stairs. I missed feeling bored, and so I drank a bottle from the second box. I fell asleep, and when I awoke, I felt horrible. The boredom feeling seemed to have increased, and I hated going to work that day. Ugh, and it felt like I was carrying the world on my shoulders. I went home and drank a small bottle from the first box and fell asleep, and my boredom had disappeared. I knew something was wrong, but I was constantly moving, and I started tapping on the walls and speaking out loud in my garden, and this feeling of not 1 ounce of boredom within me felt wrong and unnatural, but I liked it. I have a cleaner who cleans my house, and I remember just knocking her out and stabbing her and putting her down in my cellar where the wine bottles are. Then I started to feel even more abnormal, without having any boredom in my system, and drank another bottle from the second box. I fell asleep, and when I woke up, this boredom feeling felt even heavier, and I cried and sobbed at murdering my cleaner. My house started to stink. I stopped going to work, and I couldn't handle the boredom. I drank a bottle from the first box, and my boredom went away after falling asleep. When I awoke, I threw the second box away, and that brought back boredom, and I started to try to travel in time. I tried to bring life back to the dead, and I cannot feel boredom, and not 1 ounce of it is within me. I started to feel weird and abnormal, but I had nothing left to bring me back to boredom. I was also doing something, either cooking or trying to dance. I didn't just feel boredom. At the same time, I felt like I had lost a limb, and I had tampered with nature. I do not feel boredom anymore. I just don't feel it. Sometimes I stand in the rain and try to dodge the rain. Sometimes I try to find people that don't exist, but I just don't feel boredom. Even if I was to sit still for hours, I would not feel bored at all, even if I was thinking of nothing. I've been lying on the sofa for weeks now, not eating, and I'm losing weight drastically, but I'm not bored at all.